Hello and welcome to the debut episode of The Fight Lounge, hosted by me, RJ Meads. And on this episode, I'm going to give my prediction on the upcoming UFC 230 pay-per-view, headlined by Daniel Cormier versus Derrick Lewis for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. This is the debut episode. I do want to inform everybody that the quality right now may not be great, but I promise the more and more I do this, I will get better. And in time, I will have better equipment. Because I have a passion for UFC, boxing, and all MMA. And I'm doing this just for fun. I'm not doing this for money. I would like to engage with all fans. We can have debates, discuss various topics, and etc. So, I'm going to quit talking and let's head right into my predictions. On this card, I will only discuss the co-main event and the main event. We can talk about the rest of the fights in the comments section if you want to. I'm just not interested in to give my prediction. So the co-main event is former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman versus Jacare. Now, Jacare became a last-minute replacement because Chris's original opponent was also former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold, but he got an injury, so he had to pull out. And so this is going to be kind of tough because Weidman was so focused on fighting, Luke, that his training camp was strictly about him and his fighting style. And then with Rockhold pulling out, now Jacare's here, who is 100% different fighter, different fighting style, and all that. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard to choose because when you're focused on one type of fighter and then no one comes on, it's kind of hard. In Jacare, it's very hard to prepare for a fight like him with a full camp, let alone 2 week, 3 week camp. So it's gonna be pretty hard. But I like Jacare. I think if he never wins a UFC championship, I will put him as one of the greatest UFC fighters who never won a championship. I think he was that good. He won one in Strikeforce. Maybe this is the one that he needs to get that chance to fight for a championship. So I don't know. It's a toss-up for me personally, but it's in New York. It's in Chris Weidman's hometown. The last time Chris fought on the Madison Square Garden pay-per-view, I believe he got knocked out by Romero, I believe so. I don't know if it was Madison Square Garden or it was another event in New York. And so he wants to, put on a great performance for his home state. And so I'm going with Chris Weidman. I think he's going to win. I don't see him knocking out Jacare. So I would say he wins via unanimous decision. So that's my prediction on that fight. If you disagree, tell me in the comment section. And now I move into the main event of UFC 230. It is Daniel Cormier versus Derrick Lewis. Now this fight was kind of rushed because Derrick Lewis literally fight less than a month ago, if my calculation is correct. And Cormier at first didn't want to come back and fight so fast because he had his hand injury. But I believe Dana White threw them the bag and said, look, I need a main event for Madison Square Garden. And so both of them say, all right, well, we'll take it, So a little bit about the predictions. Derrick Lewis' last fight, he literally was going to lose that fight if he didn't knock out his opponent. I don't remember his opponent. I know he's Russian because Lewis mentioned that in the post-fight interview. That's another reason why he got that this championship fight. I won't say he's not deserving because I believe if you're in the top 5, you deserve a tie shot. Any chance you can get it. But if it wasn't for his hilarious post-fight interview, I don't think he would be getting this championship match so soon. Maybe he would get it down the line, but I definitely don't think so, immediately. So I think, and he do have heart. If you are a fan of Derrick Lewis interviews or his fights, you know that he has heart. You know that he won't quit, which is good because I think that's something Darren Cormier's opponents have done. Look at Rumble Johnson. I think both of his fights, once Cormier took him to the ground, he kind of like gave up and was like waiting for the time to run out. But you can do that. You got to fight on or at least try. And I don't think Derrick Lewis will do that. I don't think Derrick Lewis will. Even Cormier takes him down 4 or 5 times. I can just see him laying back and quitting. But mention that I do believe that Cormier will repeatedly take Derrick Lewis down, wear him down. And so I have Darren Cormier ultimately beating Derrick Lewis. How? It's not going to go by unanimous decision. If Derrick Lewis wins, it will be a first round knockout. First round knockout. Because Cormier has great cardio. Cormier has fought Bones and Gustafsson 2 5-round fights. So Cormier's gas tank, his cardio and endurance is great. Derrick Lewis on the other hand, no. So if Derrick Lewis wants to win this fight, it would have to be in the first 2 rounds where he's still fresh. And for Cormier, if you remember years ago, this kind of gives you how much of a UFC fan I am. When it was Bigfoot versus Cain Velasquez 2, Cain just dominated Bigfoot. And that's how I kind of think this fight's going to go. Because Cormier had a short camp. Derrick Lewis had a short camp. But hey, Derrick Lewis has a puncher's chance. And there's nobody with a more fierce punch than Derrick Lewis. Nobody. Like I said, in his last fight, he was being dominated for 2.5 rounds. In the last 30 or 40 seconds, he got that extra wind. He was just throwing haymakers. And man, the haymakers landed. It changed the whole fight. And it changed the whole outcome. And then a star was born. I think someone said, I read someone on Twitter, he was at 100,000, 200,000 followers on IG, and after his hilarious, legendary post-fight interview, that's that night alone, he got up to 1 million followers, which is crazy. Now, it helped that he was on the Conor McGregor versus Habib, co-main event, so he definitely gained a following after that knockout. And hey, maybe win, lose, or draw, he can continue it to do that, 2 years ago, I definitely wouldn't have said Derrick Lewis will be in a title picture, let alone actually fighting for the championship. But that's what I love about UFC. Everything's so unpredictable. And so, yeah, my prediction is Cormier. Second round, Derrick Lewis has been knocked out before, but I think Cormier by submission. I think so. I think he is going to kind of like, that's what he did for Rumble Johnson. I think both times was rear naked choke. Cormier knew he could have pounded him, but he said, I'm just going to take him out of his misery and end it quick. So he put him in a rear naked choke. So I think Cormier by submission. And also, Cormier doesn't want to lose that money fight with Brock Lesnar. I think that's another thing. I would love to see Brock versus Derrick Lewis, because when Brock is in the UFC, he has great promos. And Derrick Lewis is a great promo and hilarious promo. So it'd be funny for Derrick Lewis, a guy who's not so serious, versus Brock Lesnar, a guy who is serious, and is a quote-unquote monster. So I personally, just for chaos reasons, I would love to see Derrick Lewis versus Brock. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see Cormier versus Brock Lesnar. And then after that, if Brock wins, I can see Bones jumping up, fighting him. If Cormier wins, like I said, Dan White just got to throw the bag, the money bag at Cormier, and he'll take that. and they can brand it like win, lose, or draw. This will be Cormier's last match, where he finally be able to take down his greatest rival and ride to the sunset, or will he just never be able to beat Bones. So that's a great promise to have. And so those are my predictions for the co-main event and the main event of UFC 230 held in Madison Square Garden. And hey, these are my predictions. Do you have the same winners? Do you have the same losers? If not, tell me in the comment section. And I will be doing a post show. Hopefully we don't have a brawl like the last UFC event, but I will definitely do a post show to say if my predictions was right, if any fight was disappointing, and like I said, I'm only talking about 2 fights. If there's another fight that's great, that's still a show, you best believe I will be talking about that fight. So yeah, welcome to the Fight Lounge, where all we do is talk fighting. And so thank you for lending me your ears, taking time out of your day. And so this will do it for episode 1.